Piton ug iyang asawang bulanon
magtiayon sa lalawigan sa Bohol.
Ng isang dayuhan at ang kanyang asawang Pilipina.
7 taon ng mag-asawa sina Terence at Beth na nakatira ngayon sa lungsod ng Talibon, Bohol. Suportado ni Congresswoman Alexi Totor ang programang pabahay ng mag-asawang Martin sa probinsya ng Bohol dahil sa inisyatibong tumulong sa mga Boholano.
Don't forget to share.
Hey, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. I thought with the comments that I'm sure that you know that we get from the haters, and how a lot of people, most of you say, just ignore that and concentrate, focus on the positive. So I thought that that's what I would do. I would focus on the positive. So what I'm going to have to do is go on to my phone, because that's what I do everything on anyway. So here's some of the comments that we've had. One, he just says, don't like the beginning of this video. To which I responded eloquently, okay. The next one. Now this one is the kind of thing that we love to see. We love to read these, and we're very grateful for people who do this. I should mention that someone said, can't hear you, you need to talk louder. So I'm actually trying to talk louder, which is not my usual scene, because I admit that I tend to talk too quietly. But anyway, this is from John, I think it's Kutrupi. Unusual name, Kutrupi, Kutrupi. So I'm hoping, John, that I've pronounced your name best. It says, greetings Mr. and Mrs. Tall Poppy. Thank you. Thank you for that, John. People love to hate, and I am always amazed at how graciously you respond to the losers trying to cut you down. Why people believe they even have the right to question your life is beyond comprehension. Perhaps they need to focus on improving and building themselves up rather than trying to tear others down. I'll go along with that. You are doing amazing things, my friends. Pity others don't try to emulate what you do and improve the lives of the people of the Philippines, especially those foreigners who have made their home there. God bless you both. Thank you, John. Thank you very much, sincerely. You know, it is true that we can do a shot in the arm. We could do with a shot in the arm now and then. Not the particular one that's being put out by Mr. Pfizer. Okay. Anyway, in answer to that, I said, thank you for your kind words, John. Inasmuch as we always say we do what we can do with what we've got. The same must be said of those who hate us. Apparently, that is what they do. And they do that best. We all have our place and we all have our mission. And I'm absolutely sure that that's true. Let's see if I can find some more. I'm not terribly good at finding things on the moment. Let me see. There's the one that whatever happened to Alan's girlfriend and child. Would you do an update? Well, we did do an update on that, Cindy, so look out for the video. Life in the countryside. This is from Jim and Rosie's adventure in Ma. In the notification I don't get the complete thing. But anyway, let me see. Life in the countryside is much different than life in the city. Is no matter where you're at in this world. In other words, no matter where you are, life in the city and life in the country are as greatly different from others. And my response to that has to be, yes, I love my life in the mountains of Burgos, and that's where we live. And we live in really what amounts to hundreds of square miles of mountains. Now, they're designated mountains. They don't look like, it's not the Eiger Sanction or anything. It's not the North Face. They're really, when you look out over them, out of any window in our house, and you just see rolling hills as far as the eye can see, and it is beautiful, it is stunning, and I never get tired of it. Now, I got one of those phones where if you've got your attention off it for just a moment, it switches off, and you have to go through the rigmarole again of doing the code, your password. What else can I say? I read that one. Don't like the beginning of this video. Where's the others? Now, look at this. This is from the TW Foundation, and we get lots of comments like this, and we appreciate them. They're not always applicable, even though they may be correct. Now, my friend Tom sent me an incredible video about how they lay blocks scientifically. You wouldn't think that, well, laying a block is laying a block. It's bricklaying. It's not scientific. But I'll say this for the Americans: when they do something great, they really do it great. And we were sent a video of how they lay blocks, and it's just perfect, and they know exactly how to do it. It's a far cry from the way that we do it here, because, as I've tried to explain on a couple of other things, usually on Facebook, the way that we work is we have a team of guys who are totally self-taught, taught by being on the job and watching what other people do. And they are at best rustic, what I would call rustic carpenters. Now, they work totally without power, no power. They don't have any circular saws, no power saws. They are one modern addition to the workforce and to the workshop has been an electric planer, and they've taken to that and work with that very well. But other things, even like an electric drill, are a little bit rare, right? Now, even a tape measure will tend to get brutalized. I give away a ton of tape measures. Someone sent us, a couple of people, Roger and Kevin, sent us pouches, builder's pouches, and they were well received, and they're actually worn. But someone said, I'm going to send you some work boots for the Superman team, and I think I had to say to him, you know, I wouldn't send any work boots, because if they're not working barefoot while mixing concrete, they're working in what I call flip-flops. All right, in the Philippines they call them slippers, okay, but and in Australia they call them thongs, but they're just slips of rubber on the bottom of the feet, held in by the big toe, between the big and the second toe, and that's the footwear that they have on the building site. They don't have any safety helmets or safety glasses, and it's a different way of working. They don't discourage children from being around. Children are around. Children generally are regarded as being a blessing, and that's the way that they think of it here. So let me see, what else can I... See, but anyway, I was in the middle of telling you what TW Foundation were going to tell me. As a project manager on many concrete and block construction projects over 30 years, I would like to share with you, if you fail to effectively seal all concrete surfaces from moisture, that your buildings will be engulfed with various deadly molds within 5 years and become uninhabitable, I guess. And TW, Mr. TW, I know that what you're saying is true, and I'm always surprised that some very nice houses are built in cement block, and then they don't get painted, sealed for sometimes a couple of years, and you can easily see that your advice is absolutely on the money. Will it change things in the Philippines? Very, very gradually, sometime in the far, far distant future. What we are doing now is we are covering the block in smooth cast, not cast, but we render it in cement. We make it smooth. And then we paint it. That's what we're doing now, as we are gradually trying to upgrade the quality of the houses that we give. When we went to Guindolman, we found that the cost of wood was so expensive there that our way of doing half and half, like 5 courses of block, and then a framework on top of that, which was covered in amakon, which is the bamboo covering, cladding, and we actually, it actually was debatable as to whether it would be cheaper to do it that way with the expensive wood, or to do it all in block, and we decided that as an experiment we would do it all in block, and now we feel so much more confident that the houses will last, especially when we've rendered them and painted them, that's how we're doing it now. So instead of using wood, which of course has all of the disadvantages of being prone to bugs, to termites, which are deadly in this country, so now we are doing it all. So instead of doing the let me see, we do the posts. The first thing that I've always gone in is on the first day we put the wooden 4x4 posts in, and they've been concreted into the ground, and then the next day we're ready to start putting the framework in or blocking up, because at the same time as the posts were going in, we've also been putting in the footings. And the footings, Mr. TW, if you saw the footings, you would you wouldn't be happy, okay? Because unlike, say, the UK, where I was a contractor, whenever we did anything that was going to require block work, it was going to be on something like a metre as the footings, and you put hardcore, which is broken brick, put that down first, and then a concrete bed on top of that, and then that's what you would do your brickwork on. And you would have to have a damp course, because what you were saying about mould, it doesn't seem to be as prevalent here as it was certainly in the UK. Now in the UK you have to have a horizontal damp course, so the brick comes up to the point where it's just above the ground level, and then you lay a damp course on top of that, which is like a thick plastic, and that lays on top of the mortar, then more mortar on top of that, and then the brick goes on there. The idea being that that plastic or rubber will stop the flow of molds and of damp from coming up through the wall. So that's let me see, what else can I look at? And I wrote to Mr. TW and I said, thank you for sharing. Yes, we have found your advice to be true. What else can I read that's nice, that we felt? Now, this is what, yeah, should I even read this? Why do you always have to explain yourself? You and Beth have put out more videos than anyone on YouTube, than anyone I have ever seen. You have always given explanations in your videos. And then he names he names one particular site, which I'm not going to repeat. Mr. So-and-so, so-and-so, and his trolls, all the haters, ignorant trolls, keep up the good work. Pleased to see your work is supported by the NBI, National Police, barangays and celebrities. God bless. Well, it's true. We have been supported by the police on several occasions now, to the extent that they know us well, certainly in Atafi, where we do a lot of our work. So what we do is we get in touch with the police chief, and we say we're doing a house, and we're at that point where if you would like to send some of your officers down to do a little volunteer work, we would be very happy to see them. And they come down and they usually do painting. So the last one was let me see, what was it called? Well, it's House 69. Beth has a name for it, something like the house without the father, because the father passed a little while ago, and now the burden of helping the family to survive has fallen to one of the students that we have on our support team. And what we do with Johnny is we try to give him duties which he has a motorcycle, and if we ask him to go here or go there, he'll do it, and he does it very efficiently and reliably, and we pay him. So that's money that's in addition to what he gets for his education support on that program. So that works very well. And the NBI, because we've been we actually at one point were investigated by the NBI. There's nothing there. In fact, the investigator that dealt with our case has become a subscriber, and when we get any new news, we usually drop him an email and tell him, hey, this is what we've been doing. And it's not like a love affair, but we keep in touch so that they know exactly what is happening. There's nothing for them to investigate because we've already told them what we're doing. But anyway, the NBI, BIR, the PNP, all of these abbreviations, the best way, my feeling is that it's one thing to be trusted. You need to be trusted, but you need to be seen to be trustworthy. That's my own particular feeling. So we never expect anyone to trust us. We show where the trust is, and we have found that that has worked very well for us. When we go and buy materials, we often video the buying of the materials, which consists not of going around picking up pieces of wood and putting it in the truck. It consists of standing at the counter and telling them what we need, as in for the church that we're building right at the moment. Is it 900 or 1,000 blocks, Beth?
And that
For the church?
1,500.
What? 1,500 blocks? Yeah. A fairly big church. So that's one of the things that we're doing there. And we showed that that is it. In fact, our supporters, who obviously they're supporting us, so they believe in us, but we don't expect them to do anything without us demonstrating that we are trustworthy. So that's something that we care about very much, and we don't let that slide. So that's about it. I don't know whether I can find any more. Obviously I can find plenty of comments. I like that one. John Katrupi, he said, "The Lord certainly must be smiling down on you, my friends. May you continue to be abundantly blessed." And that was on the video where we said, here we go again, building a new church for the community. What else can I say? In the end, you keep seeing the same ones. Why? Now here's one. It says, Mr. Blue 14 said, "Hello Beth, we suggest you buy new TV for your students." Well, it would be very nice if we could do these things, but sometimes, as we always say, we're doing what we can with what we have, and buying brand new TVs is not always possible. And the reason that I guess that they're saying that is because we installed a TV that my brother-in-law Manorado, he had this TV and he wasn't using it, so he donated it and we put it into the dorm, where the dormitory which we built in Taliban to house students who need to have somewhere to live while they do their studies. So the TV went in there, and you may have seen the video where James helped to put the antenna up. So that's that. Order. Now, Victor Richardson, he said, "What is the square footage price to build the house, if you don't mind me asking?" I have no idea what the square footage price is on the house. We know what each house costs, and every house that we do can be different. It depends entirely on a whole slew of different reasons for the price being different. If the house is very close to the road, then it means that deliveries can be dropped off right in the road and carried to the site, like the blind man's house. It was very close to the road. Dump all the stuff down in the road, at the side of the road on the grass verge, and then we can carry it very easily to where the blind man's house was. But if we do a house in the mountains, then not only is it difficult to get the deliveries made, they're really not that happy doing those deliveries, and we may have to pay for them or not. So it depends on lots of things. Plus, if a house is built on a slope, and we want that house obviously to be level, then we have to build where, let me see, if you're looking at this like this, if it's on the slope like this, you have to put a wall in here, and then all of this has to be infilled. Obviously that costs a lot of more money. So it depends. So sorry, we're not that kind of builders, and also we're not commercial builders. We don't hire out to anyone. So if you're thinking that it would be great for us to build you a house, sorry, we don't do that. We just work in our charity. Where's another one? Ah, here it is. Mike Cairns, he said, please speak up. I am still having to turn my sound level way up to hear you. Sorry about that, Mike, as I did respond to you, and perhaps you will have noticed that I have actually made an effort to speak a bit louder, but it's really not something that I do naturally, and I'll have to work on that, okay, and I will. So I hope that the sound was better on this particular video, and I hope that you got something out of it. Thanks for being with me, and I'll be back. Bye for now.